All right, Matthew, it's all yours.
Thanks, Shelley. Hello, everybody. My name is Matthew Van Dyke with Edward Jones, and I'm going to be your financial advisor for your new real life counseling 401k plan. My phone number, my office phone number is 360-314-4178. My email address is matthew.vandyke@edwardjones.com. And so I just wanted to go over some real basic information that you may need to know about your new 401k plan. I am available to answer questions for you. First and foremost, you are going to want to decide how much of your paycheck you are going to want to contribute to your 401k. And then also choose the investments that you want to invest in and how you want to be diversified. So that's where I can kind of come in and help and look at your plan, your personalized plan, your individual family plan, and make sure that it is right for you with what you're trying to accomplish. First and foremost, though, we want to get your forms completed by the end of the year. So that way, when Shelley in real life does your payroll during that first payroll, your first check for the new year, your contributions are going in to your plan. So, and part of that is making sure that with that you are also designating your beneficiaries. If anything were to happen to you, where do you want your 401k money going to? Okay. The other thing you can look at is if you do have an old 401k out there at an old job, you have a couple different options on that where you can roll it into your new 401k here over at Real Life, or I can help you set up an IRA and work with you on that if that is an option for you. So you have to decide how much you want to contribute. Obviously, the more, the better, but it needs to fit within your budget. I believe, and Shelley, correct me if I'm wrong, that Joe has decided to match 3%. Is that correct?
I believe that is correct.
So realistically, you want to do at least 3%, okay? Because that's 100% return on your money for that, okay? And then another option to look at is you might want to start out with, very popular amount to start out with is like 5 or 6%. But then doing 1% increases automatically every year to either 10 or 15% where you can stop at. But that way, every year you're kind of adjusting and starting to invest a little bit more into your 401k. As far as contributions of how to invest and diversify, we have individual funds available for you. If you want to be a little bit more specific in your investments, or target date funds based on your age will automatically diversify you and keep you balanced. It's an easy way to invest and stay diversified and not have to think about rebalancing, because it automatically does that for you. And then as you get closer to retirement, it becomes more and more conservative for you. So this page kind of shows you in your booklet of determining what is the best option for you. It is what I would consider a cookie cutter way of investing. So if you were, born between 1968 and 1972, they're saying invest in the 2035 fund. If you were born between 1983 and 1987, invest in the 2050 fund, right? But your individual circumstances may be better even if you were born in between 1968 and 1972. Take a little bit more aggressive if you're just starting out, to be in an earlier or a later fund like a 2050 or 2055. But that's something we can kind of decide through a discussion if you do have questions on that. If you do want to invest in different funds on your own, there is a handful. I think there were a total of, I want to say 18 different ones that you can do with a mixture of bonds and equities. So this page down here tells you all the different funds to kind of help you determine what's going to be the best for you. And it shows you their total returns over the lifetime they've been introduced, and they'll tell you the inception date. For instance, this 2010 fund was started in 2007, 4.83% over its lifetime. Over the last 10 years, it's averaged 7.01. Over the last 5 years, it's averaged 6.4. And over the last year, 10.85. So that is how you can read it. The expense ratio, this is the cost of investing in that fund, is 0.96. So a good way to look at that is $9.60 for every $1,000 invested. Okay, and that's not a bill that you get. It's just part of, it's coming out of those funds, and that's how the the advisors in that portfolio manager gets paid. And then as you go up on the dates further away from us, it becomes more aggressive, and you will typically see higher returns for that. And then these are the different individual mutual funds that you can choose from. So growth investments here. Then you have growth and income. Growth and income is going to be focusing on growth, but they also have dividend paying stocks for you also. We have a couple balanced investments, which means they are kind of spread out in a balanced portfolio, kind of like your target funds, and then your bonds. Okay. And let's see. Other than that, that's really about it. As far as that goes. Shelley, do you have any questions for me? I hope I didn't make that any more confusing for you guys at all.
Do you know what the maximum percentage that someone can contribute?
That's a good question. So with a 401k, the maximum in 2021, and I don't think they've changed it, you could put into it was $19,500 into your 401k. If you're over 50, you have a catch up of an additional $6,500. So I think that's $26,000 total that you can put into your 401k. And based on that, also with your 401k, you have two options. You can do pre-tax money, where that will lower your taxable income. So for instance, let's say you make $55,000 a year, you put in $5,000 pre-tax, your taxable income is only going to be $50,000. Okay. We do have a Roth element added to your plan. So if you're not looking for a tax deduction, you can always put it into your Roth, and that is after tax, and that will grow tax-free. So that is a great part of this plan, where you aren't hit with the limit of an IRA, which only gives you $6,000. You can actually do that $19,500 in a Roth, depending on how much you guys have available to put in there. Any match that Real Life does will be pre-tax, because they're looking for that tax deduction. So even if you did everything into a Roth, you would still have a portion of that match that is going to be pre-tax from Real Life counseling.
Super. All right, that answers that question. Is there anything else that you can think of that are some pretty standard questions that get asked that might be good to go over?
You can make changes at any time So it's not like with healthcare where you have open enrollment. You can change your contributions to your 401k. You can increase them or decrease them at any time. You can change your investments at any time. A lot of times you can do that just right over the website, because you guys will have your own login user ID at American Funds Capital Group to be able to look at your own personal account and see the performance, all that kind of stuff. As your financial advisor, I will have access to that also. So if you ever have questions, you can reach out to me and we can review that to make sure that everything was done properly, that you are on track for reaching your retirement goals.
Great, that's awesome. All right, well, I don't think I have anything else, Matthew. I think if we have anybody that has some individual questions, I can help connect them with you, or they have your contact information. We will go ahead and get those packets sent out to our team, and we'll get those back as soon as possible before the first of the year. Is there anything else that you need from us before we end today?
I don't think so. I think we have everything all set up and ready to go for you guys. So,
all right. Well, perfect, Matthew. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. So let me know if you have any other questions. Again, my phone number is 360-314-4178. My email address is matthew.vandyke@edwardjones.com. And
all right, thank you,
Kelly will be
Matthew.
able to get you that information if you didn't write it down.
Yeah, I absolutely have it.
All right. Thanks, Shelly.
All right, thank you.
Bye.